Hello everybody, welcome back to Tazzcraft, and I'm a little confused today. So, I was kind of looking around and kind of working on my own thing. If you couldn't see from over here, I should probably sleep, in all honesty. We'll sleep over there. Let's take my rockets, there we go. I was over here working on my bridges coming across, so my bridges are looking fantastic. I gotta build up the towers and do one more support beam coming from the top there. But I got a message on my Discord saying that I need to go to the shopping district. So we're going to go to the shopping district and see what they're talking about. Alright, now let me just kind of look through some stuff. Alright, getting some money. Some conduits are selling. That's kind of nice. Someone did buy out my steak earlier, and someone bought out all my slime. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? Oh, that's so frustrating. Alright, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the diamonds, but we need to start restocking some of this. Oh, my poor cows. Oh, my poor cows. That's exactly what's going to happen there. And my slime's all gone. Oh, it never ends. Alright, back at the pagoda. Let's just wander right on in. Let's see if anybody did anything silly. Awesome dude. Alright, well, he's the one we built the pagoda for last time. I'd like you to decorate your villager trading area and make it look better than it does at the moment. What? Alright, well, I guess we delete all the... Hello? Game? Do you want to not have a stroke? That's great. Alright. So, I guess we're going to see what his villager trading is like. I did have slime on me, because I was farming up slime earlier. I know that there's some huge projects going on in terms of actually needing a whole bunch of slime. So I did farm up a whole bunch more slime. So I'm going to put that in the... I'm going to put what I have in here. And we're going to see where this villager trading area is at Awesome Dude's place. I know he was getting some from Tion, so I guess he made it. It's done. But from what I hear, needs a little bit of sprucing up, so we'll see what we can do. Alright, we are walking right out of the portal right now, and... oh, he's got a whole bunch of skeleton horses. That's new. I think some kitties. I am rare. That's I am rare. I don't know. I prefer medium rare, but you know, whatever. So that's where he had his villagers before. I'm guessing that's all he had. Oh, yep. Okay. Alright. Okay, that's a lot of birch. That is a lot of birch. So I'm guessing we're gonna try and stick within... oh, this has gotta be it. So I'm guessing we're gonna try and stick it within this? Okay. Oh, it's just stairs. Okay. Alright, I've seen this design before. I don't want to touch anything beyond this line, so this is where I'm going to stop. You can mess with this all you want. I'm not touching this. But this... why though? What does this have to do with, like, how does this look compared? Alright. Birch, like light wood, is considered I shouldn't say is considered. There's a lot of uses for light wood in Japanese architecture. What I'm thinking of doing is completely throwing out some of this. What we could do is we could hide some of the lanterns, because let's face it, these lanterns are just all over the place. We could either put them on their own lamps, or we could probably like hide some of them underneath carpet or something. I'm not quite sure how I want to do that. We are going to need to completely redesign the floors, because there's no way that this is going to be acceptable. The roofs themselves, there's no way that's acceptable. Usually there's some sort of pattern in the roof. My guess is actually not stripping something and then putting the logs just straight up, because that kind of gives it that tiled look. So that's what I'm looking at here. This is where I'm going to start having problems, though. This stairway looks bad. Why is this one out further than... Like, just cut it off here. Why is this one have an extra thing here? Okay, so here's an idea, right? Let's start with these and turn these into murals, right? We'll put the logs in the roof to give it that feel, right? I don't know what to do with lamps in the roof, because typically they did not have lamps in their roofs. They didn't. We could probably keep this line here, which means this corner is going to be darker. So we could turn this into kind of more of a storage space by putting in half slabs and like letting the, having him put in like chests or whatever he wants in here. This wall, so I noticed something. This wall is 3 away from here. And this wall is 2 away from this one. And everything else is the same. So we actually have to move this entire wall in one. But I don't want to do that specifically because we can use that to our advantage by, if we recess this wall, we have a little bit more space to play with, and we can do more of a 2D thing. Or a 3D thing if we want to, which if these are going to be more murals, they're not going to be, in which case I'm just going to move the wall in. But that's kind of how that's going to go. Now, if I'm thinking this through correctly, what I could do is I could remove all of this here, and we could actually have kind of a tiered system where you can kind of wander up, and then we could have like small little plants, like little bushes, like little bonsai trees in the middle. And I don't know how exactly I'm going to do that, but we can try. I'm thinking with maybe fence posts and yeah, I don't know, maybe using like a log, a fence post, and then like having the stuff come out. We can have tiered gardens in here, and that'll take up a lot of that space in there. The murals, replacing the roof, because this just looks way too... like it doesn't even look modern. Like, this has the feel that it could be modern. The amount of lamps and lighting does say modern, right? Like you'd have, but the wood is not. It doesn't feel modern. Like you typically want to see like concrete or something that's just a solid color, and that's not what we have. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with the murals, because I think the murals in the birchwood would actually look really, really good with the idea that it is, it's the right color, right? Like it's got that wall look to it where it's just aged. So we can start off with something like that in the walls. As for the flooring, I don't know if there's much I can do about this. We're probably going to have to vary up the color. Maybe put some pattern in the floor. We don't really have to worry about spawns because this is a mushroom biome. Anything around here? Nothing around there. Okay. But that's kind of where we're at. I'll tell you what. First things first, I'm going to put a mural in using oak wood, oak leaves, and we'll see how that looks. We'll mirror it on the other side. I'll come back when that's done, and then we'll see about recessing some stuff. Oh, you didn't give me much room at all. We're probably going to remove these lanterns. We're going to move this over. We're going to recess this into the wall, and then we're going to put in some shelving in some we're probably going to like do a zigzag across in terms of shelving so that it's not quite oh, that's not even going to work that way. Yeah, that doesn't even work that way because we're not high. We don't have high enough to open the chest if that's the case. Overall, I don't have much space, but we're going to see what we can do. Alright, so nothing much changed on this floor as of yet. There's a little place right there that I haven't put things. I'm starting to carve out this area. I think I'm going to put the inside as birch, and then I'm going to use glass up to here, and then I'm going to put probably oak leaves across, and then we'll see about building on the inside of here, just some small shrubbery, trees, whatever, and that should look good coming out of here. We do need to light this up, but that shouldn't be a problem because we have plenty of lanterns. So that's what that is. We have the same thing here in a little bit of a smaller scale, just a little bit there. I could recess this, or I could recess that just like this. I don't know if I technically want to yet or not. We'll kind of adjust that how we want to later. I could also close this off and then use it as an aquarium for fish or something. But I kind of like the greenery look. I'm kind of liking the greenery look. And we'll probably also need some cobble and water feature around here somewhere. I'm thinking I can throw that in the roof here if I put down just some stone, which of course I don't have on me because I put all my stuff in a chest. I also didn't bring food, so that's going to be interesting. So we kind of have that in, so obviously I put this together as it is, and the idea behind this is that we'll put the glass thing on, and then we have our little murals off to the side just to give it kind of that feature. I put the stone there just to symbol like it's coming off the mountain. Kind of a common theme in Japan for these murals. So I didn't want to have two of the same, so I varied them up just a little bit. This wall, I'm not quite sure what to do, but the logs definitely do break up the monotony of the room, just because, hey, look, there's so much, like, there's just more to look at, you know what I mean? So that's there. We're going to need to replace some of the flooring, because obviously this is not doing it for me. That does mean we're going to have some lighting issues, but I think we can also make this work out a little bit better by taking out some of the modernism of it. Don't get me wrong, Japan loves combining traditional with their modern amenities. That's why I put the lamps right there, but that also means we can do without pretty much this entire segment. We don't want to go overboard on the lights, so I'll be back in just a little bit. Alright guys, whew! Alright, so we saw the last time that we had these up, just the nice murals, thought they looked really nice, so I went down, put some carpet over what he had down in the floor already. I didn't feel like tearing up the whole floor, but this does make it so it doesn't look quite as bright and eye-gouging, because goodness, that was just, it was a bit much. I still think that this is too much here, but I don't really have a good solution to this at the moment. I mean, probably just sinking that in the floor and then removing the rest of those, and think this entire thing up here needs to be lit up, but we're going to leave it as it is because, well, let's face it, it's just, I don't know if it's technically worth messing with. Because no matter what, you're going to have that ring, and that's going to, I mean, it's just going to be a separation regardless. So that's how that works. Let me, oh, now I got Discord, so someone else is messaging me. Oh goodness, I am just an absolute train wreck right now. I've got so many people messaging me about all sorts of projects. It looks like we're also going to be working on a slime farm. Yay! Which means the rest of my day is going to be digging. Which means I'm not actually going to get to my mega build like I wanted to, but that's fine. I also came in here and we destroyed this middle section. Now, what I would do, I would actually take this and kind of copy it over here, make some nice gardens on the other side, make sure it's nice and green and welcoming. But yeah, I think he gets the idea. I think this is exactly what he wanted. It kind of fits the theme that he was going for, which was that, you know, the Japanese style theme. Along with the little pond where he can throw his fish if he wants. My only suggestion would be to copy some of this, maybe not all of it, but copy some of it and put it on the side just to liven it up a bit more on the opposite side. So that's where I'm going to leave that. That is, it's kind of how you do it. I mean, really, it's just bringing a lot of greenery inside the building, giving them some gardens to deal with, and a little bit of a pond. I mean, you could just turn these into aquariums. You could turn them into essentially whatever you wanted to. I just wanted to make sure that the way that this was set up was going to be, you know, look nice for them and is going to kind of last a long time because, I mean, like why does this entire wall need to be lights? Like I that's part of the reason why I'm kind of at a loss. Like, he loves his sea lanterns, I can tell you that much. They're a cool block, but gotta change it up sometimes, man. It's not a one trick thing. So we're gonna leave it at that, and we're gonna see what we can do about a slime farm. I might just make that a whole nother episode, and if it is a whole nother episode, thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time. Oh wait, we still gotta do this. Oh no! Never mind. I started an outro, and I still need to finish the outside of this. I'll talk to you later. Holy cow, guys, this took forever. But we finally got there. So I decided to keep it kind of a modern look with the offset logs coming out of here, and obviously keeping the theme of some glass and putting the logs behind it, which seems really, really good. I decided stone for the roof was probably the best idea. I really didn't want to keep using the wood because, if you can't tell, kind of wood overload. In fact, I'm not even sure that I would keep a lot of this around, but I mean, isn't that nice? Looks a little bit more acceptable. If I come up here, I kind of continued these on the side, just to, again, give it that little bit of variation, and on this side, nothing. So if you can see, we got it all just kind of hanging out, which was the idea. I didn't want to commit too much, give it a more modern look to it. So obviously, a lot more glass, and again, changing up the wood. So that is all I'm doing for this. I don't want to do it anymore. It is so far beyond. It's not big enough for me to justify putting more effort into it, and it was just a very weird size, especially because most of it's underground and there's no real connection in between its use and its look. So I decided just to kind of go with it, just to run with it. So if you come down here, obviously a little bit darker. Again, I probably should have came in here and gotten rid of this line, but this was going to be a line regardless. Moving this, to even out the room really doesn't matter. Maybe it's just a better place for him to put more chests or something. I don't know. It's one of those things that he wanted me to make another chest room for him after the whole agreement thing. Like, he's all like, oh, make a chest room too, and I'm like, I'm not sitting here digging out another chest room. I don't even have a chest room in my build itself. I need to focus on some of my stuff too. So that's kind of where I sit on the whole thing. But a couple murals, some wonderful plants sitting around here. I'd probably come in and just maybe put some grass in or something, flower or whatever. But keeping the trees in there, the bushes, and putting a bush in here with some water feature, and we are good to go. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this is okay. Not exactly what I would consider my best work, but I think that it fit the bill for what it needs to be, and that's kind of the takeaway from it. Because if I wanted to do more with it, it would need to be more space. It would need to be more, like, there's just so much more it would need to be. I didn't want to do double thick in terms of the walls, because that's just taking up more space and not really adding to anything. I want to do the front face at least too thick, but this stuff, there was no reason to, you know what I mean? It's just not a viable use of time. Again, going in there and sprucing up the walls on these sides would be probably a better use of time. But I wanted there to be plenty of light, a roof over your head, and just a good overall look for it that has a more modern feel. Although definitely still has ties to how Japan would organize kind of that feeling in and of itself. What I should do is I should curve those, in all honesty, because these coming out the sides make sense. Those two not so much. Those two are a little bit off-putting. But I mean, overall, if you're not looking for it, it's not really a problem. You can sacrifice some wood to turn that into a corner piece, but yeah, that is all I got for this build. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys have suggestions for other ways to handle this build, I'd be glad to hear them. Specifically the top side. The top side, I'm not a huge fan of. I think down here, with the roof, the different roofing and the gardens, I think fit really, really, really well with what we already had established. I just don't think that the building itself warrants that much more. And I mean, on the inside, like, this would definitely be a problem for me, coming back in and kind of covering things up. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Fine. I'm not gonna be that big of a jerk. I'll finish this up here. But I want to keep things kind of off center, a little bit different in terms of how we went about Goodness gracious, come on! I'm running out of spruce here. That's just embarrassing. Spruce, there we go. I know, it's his supply. We're good. We're good. Just gonna throw those there. And we'll throw these down here. And we'll call it a day. And yeah, no, that's about where we're at. Don't get me wrong, I think there's always something more to add to this. The question is if it's actually responsible for me to continue, and I would argue no. I mean, we did our job. We made the inside much more livable. It is no longer a starter box, which makes me feel way better about it. That, and we have kind of an interesting change here. So, oh, that looks way better. Oh, it looks way better. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And until next time, take it easy.